Oh, I think it was my jiu-jitsu guys sent me this video. It was a Stoic philosophy video about how I get a lot of hate, not a hate, but I get a lot of, in the past I've gotten some, I guess, hate or comments, how I'm like unreachable, or I'm too busy for people.
I got a hold of you.
Well, yeah. Well, we make money together.
It's possible. Yeah, but we didn't before.
Oh,
I got
before.
A hold of you.
Oh, the 6 months thing.
Yeah, unreachable is not in my vocabulary.
Well, it was persistence is the word there.
So it's possible.
So, but you know, friends are like, oh, let's go do this or let's go hang out.
Oh, you're talking about friends?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like Joe Schmo on the internet, like YouTube comment.
No.
Yeah, gotcha.
Friends.
Yeah.
But you know, there are people I would consider, you know, friends, and you know, I consider a lot of people friends, even if we don't hang out. Anyways, so but I've gotten slack over the years for not being, I don't know, available
for fun time.
For fun time.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've been with me for over 5 years now. Mm-hmm. You know how I am. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I've always gotten slack for that. I'm like, it's not that I don't care or I don't want to hang out. I just don't hang out like that.
Yeah. I
work. I'm focused on building, you know, my mission. And doing what I'm doing. And when I do have the time that I do have to hang out, I want to hang out with my family. Yeah. You know, but Allie's really good about like, you need to go hang out like with your dudes. Yeah. And just cut away. And I'm like, it seems like such a waste of time.
But Star Wars is on.
Yeah. I was like, and you're here and he's here.
We can make popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm like,
spoken like a true introvert.
Right. People don't know that. I'm very much an introvert. But anyways, I was listening to that video and they were saying basically how that's a good thing. And, you know, you can get really wrapped into other people's problems or trying to be like the Captain Save-A-Ho for everybody, but not a hoe, but just like, oh, I need this couch moved. I need my fence fixed. I need this fixed.
Even though you have to drive all the way up 4 hours and you're going to get back at 2 a.m. and have to be at work at 5. Right. Yeah. But
and like it pulls away from your family. It pulls away from your work.
But you're helping people.
Yeah, you're helping
So you
people.
justify it. Right? It's okay. Yeah.
But then it becomes like a habitual thing to where you're always doing it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so and now you're overstressed and not working on your own shit and you're just
because your subconscious is constantly thinking about, hey man, what about us? Hey man, what about us?
Like I need to get my stuff done. I
got to put my mask on first. Yeah.
And
not the
so
fucking
his
jab though, like
his analogy, metaphor, story, or whatever. He goes, Napoleon would. This is back obviously in letters. He wouldn't answer. He would put a 3-week lag on opening his mail.
Dude, that's baller.
It is baller.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always said, you've heard me say probably for the last 5 years is that's a self-correcting problem. Yeah.
Usually like a kid sticking a finger in an outlet. You know, like it's self-correcting. It's not going to happen more than once. Yeah. Like
you're going to figure that out real quick.
But it really, it is. Like you don't answer it. Yeah.
Don't need to get involved. There's a lot of stuff that adults do and get involved in that they don't need to get involved in. Yeah. Even with like raising kids. Like if a kid says, I'm, you know, whatever today, you know, or I feel this way. It's like parents get all up in arms and I'm like,
and point blame too. So they worry.
It's
so
literally going to change tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like why get upset about it? But his point was he doesn't open his mail for he didn't open his mail for 3 weeks at a time because most of the issues in the mail would correct themselves within 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's wild.
So I don't need to even.
So when he gets to him, he's like, "Hey, are you still you good? Oh, you're good. Yeah, okay, cool.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
That's it. On. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, that's
any problem that can't be resolved in 3 weeks, well, now he can step in.
Yeah,
but
that's much smaller of a stack.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. Exactly. In the meanwhile, he's been focusing on his own stuff, his own happiness, your own success, your own. You know, if you get done with work and you go on a vacation, it's like I'm going on vacation with me and my family for myself. Yeah. I'm not worried about 47,000 people with their hand out.
Yeah. Also, people label problems as like, come on, that's not really a problem. Like,
exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. But you said it. You were like, yeah, that's. And these days, it's like 48 hours. Mm-hmm. You know, so like, you know, if the problem arrives or not checking an email or not checking a text, it's like most things resolve themselves.
You get the next email. It's like, oh, never mind, it fixed itself. And you're like, I just shit. Thumbs up.
Cool.
Cool.
And even little stupid stuff that people people are like, oh, I got to drive here and pick up this person and then drive them here and then get home and pick up my kids. And I'm like, how about we just do this? How about you just, if they can't handle themselves, just order them an Uber to the airport.
Yeah.
And that way you're not in the car for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then that 2.5 hours, you're either working on making money or making business or spending time with your own family and kids.
That's what I wrote. My other slick show I did was ties into that. Is what you're doing called living? Like, is the task you're literally doing right now with your hands, is this valuable to what you call life? Like, if you live for money, are you making money right now, or are you just sleeping? You know what I mean? If you live for growth, are you growing?
But yeah, you've kind of come full circle, because when we first linked up 5 years ago, you were doing a lot of that. Like,
I was doing a lot of bullshit.
I remember, I'll never forget. I needed something from you work related, and you're like, "Oh, I can't right now. I'm changing the oil on my car."
Yeah, I was out back.
That little bitty car.
I was out back. Yeah, behind the lab changing.
And
my
I was
oil.
like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, we're changing oil? Are we an oil changing company?" I'm like, how much time did that? And you were like, "Oh, well, if I do it myself, I save this much money." And
dude, I was selling plasma. Like, I didn't know no better, man. I was 23.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, get one of the people.
One, I didn't know my priorities. I didn't know priorities at the time. So I guess it wasn't providing value, but I was forcing it to provide value. I was trying to make it pretend. I was like, trying to make it make value.
So hard to sell me on the reasons why you had to change your oil.
Because I was right. The reason I'm doing everything is I'm right.
which is another one I did for the mentorship call was something I learned from Kirk. We are human beings' biggest need is to be right.
Yeah.
We have to be right.
It's so toxic in conversations.
So I remember you telling me, like, no, man, it takes this much time. Is this how much the air filter costs? This much thing, this. And I saved this much time. And I'm thinking, that's an hour and a half. How much can Johnny Slicks make in an hour and a half if he was working?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that doesn't equal out at all.
I did bust my knuckle open too.
You did?
Changing the oil, yeah.
Those hands are important.
I know. They make money.
They make money. Anyways, but like it comes down to the same thing, like cutting your grass. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you're not a man if you don't cut your grass."
Dude, that's just bullshit.
Blah, blah. I'm like, okay, that's the measure of a man.
Define that, yeah.
Meanwhile, you're fat, overweight, drinking a beer,
yelling at your kids.
Yeah, don't take your wife on a date, yelling at your kids. You know.
But you cut your grass.
Hey, you cut your grass. Good job, dude.
Hey, that's cool if you cut your grass. Just whatever you do, just make sure it provides value to what you are living for. If you are living,
return of investment.
Yeah, if you're living to be a good parent, get off your ass on the toilet when your kid's trying to go outside and play. Like if you live for stress free, stop going to stressful things. Like, so I did a whole thing about. Because I do it throughout the day, too. I'll look at my hands, like, whatever I'm doing, I'm like, is this really providing value? No? Cool. Moving on. Like, this isn't valuable right now.
Yeah, it starts to operate. You start realizing that. And for me, it was just things like, and we've talked about it for you, what are the things that only Nick can do?
Yeah.
Only Nick can sit here on this microphone for this business.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only version of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For now. That we know of.
Yeah, we know of.
Yeah.
Until I replace myself, which one day will happen. Not on this podcast, but in the business.
Yeah.
And the same thing for you. I was like, you were doing a lot of things. I'm like,
but it was for me, it was self-worth. I've recently come to terms with it. I realized that, I was like, I'm just John, man. I don't what are you talking about? Like, there's so many people that can do what I do. But then in reality, I'm like, no. The energy I bring into the room when the team is there is valuable, and it does affect the team. So I have to we talked about it earlier. I have to suck it up. I don't get to be sad today. You know what I mean? I get to be sad tonight when I'm by myself, but I cannot.
I don't even think you're able to do that.
No. I'm talking about because of the medication, but I'm coming off now, so there's no worries about it. But there's no time for that negative energy.
Not an SSRI. Let's just hold on, make clear.
I was on Accutane.
Yes, let's just clarify that.
Yeah, no, wait a minute.
Johnny's on psych meds.
Nah, I was on skid meds because I had painful acne, but I'm off now. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't get to feel sorry for myself, and then I was like, no. What could John only do? There's so many things, man. John, there's so many things that other people can do that I'm doing. It's not really that big of a deal.
Not true.
But then going into any task with that mindset, is like, okay, I'm no longer valuable. I'm not like the guy that can do this. I'm a guy that can do this. And that's like, now I'm going to apply 90% of my effort to it instead of 100, you know, like, so
that
self-worth,
that specific thing
that only I can do.